Good morning and happy Moon Day. Yes, it is February 28th, the last day of February. And this is Claudia Thompson, tuning you into the true rhythms of life and the right timing for everything, the lunar rhythms, as we are in the time of awakening to our true potential as transcendent galactic humans. Yes. So we have a week that is going to kick off a new month and with a new moon that's very optimistic, very hopeful. And that's a good thing because it's a wild, volatile week leading to what could potentially be a very volatile month. So, you beautiful spiritual beings having a human experience are going to be really asked to walk your stuff and remember to be kind and compassionate, even as you carry your vision forward. We are in the last day of the lunar cycle, actually the last 2 days because the new moon is on Wednesday. So we are in the last days of the cycle of the visionary, the futurist, the rebel with a cause, hopefully, and the humanitarian of the zodiac, and that's Aquarius, the Aquarius cycle. So as we always begin, we're going to begin by dropping into our heart. So I ask that you put your feet on the floor, your palms up in your lap. That's the receptive mode. And begin to be aware of your breath as it comes and goes. Where is your breath? Are you breathing fully? Is your breath all up in your chest? Put your hands on your belly and see if your belly's moving as you welcome each breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And now feel your feet as the next breath comes from below the earth. Beautiful bronze, copper, crystalline, light, the supportive energy of the earth that sustains you in this avatar, beautiful, amazing body. So you can have this experience. Breathe that light in, feel it fill every cell, grounding you in that beautiful earth energy. And as you breathe in, you come to the crown chakra. And above the crown chakra, there is white light that now pours down through your crown, melding silver and white energies with the earth energy. And now you are becoming golden. And this golden energy of radiance fills every cell of your body. And on the exhalation, you breathe out anything that is preventing you from being right here in this moment with me. Again, inhale all the way up. Exhale. Exhale a little longer than you inhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth, feeling now your shoulders lower. And as this light fills your body, you're also filled with relaxation. Now in the next inhalation, breathe all the way up. And as you exhale, feel the energy of your mind, your brain, your thinkity-think self, the monkey mind, drop down behind your facial mask, down through your throat, through your chest, and come to rest in your heart. Do that a couple of times until you feel yourself in your heart. You can put your hands over your heart if you wish. That might be helpful. And now this golden light that's in your heart takes on a rosy glow as it moves to fill your cells with heart energy. And on the next exhalation, that energy moves out through your skin, filling your auric field, filling your environment with heart-centered love and light. Breathe in and out of your heart a couple of times. And gently open your eyes. Come back into the room with me. So I hope that felt good for you. That always centers me, brings me present. And the big key to navigating this time of sometimes turbulence and distraction, major distraction, is to be present in the present as the presence, remembering that the presence that is runs through everything and encourages us to have this a growing awareness of oneness. This is who we truly are. When we take the costume of our personality, our identity, our investment in the world off, and we put it on a metaphorical hanger, we can come into that greater self that sustains us as one of its points of view in every moment. So we have quite a week coming up with a new moon and a new month, and Mars and Venus uniting in with Pluto. Very, very powerful. So I'm going to be talking a bit about that, because the work that you've been doing, the awarenesses that have been coming to you since December 11th regarding relationship and finances are now coming to a point where you can make decisions about what you need to detach from, what you need to proceed forward with, and how you need to clear things out so that you can reclaim the energy to move forward in your life in a more balanced way. So today, as I mentioned, the moon is in Aquarius, and we are in the balsamic phase of the moon. That's the phase that always precedes a new moon. It's the depth of the dark. And as we all know, light equals energy. So during the balsamic phase, be sure to get enough rest. You might find that you want to meditate a little bit more. It's the time when we compost those goodies from the whole cycle. What's going to make fertile soil as you plant your seed intentions at the time of the new moon? You want to glean the wisdom and look at what you want to carry forward and what no longer serves your intentions and goals, your vision. And as the light darkens, it is not a time to move forward or begin anything. So don't sabotage yourself by jumping ahead and trying to begin something during these next 2 days. It's really a good time for you to prepare for this new month that we're going to be experiencing tomorrow, and the new moon. I love the fact that they're so close together. So you might find that there are unexpected turns of events today. The moon squared a great awakener and artist of sudden change Uranus before dawn today. And, the thing is, you ought to be able to react and respond calmly to any issues that arise, even in the midst of this kind of sudden lightning bolt energy that occurred before dawn. And remember that inventive ideas that are rooted in common sense are possible this afternoon. So that Uranus squaring the moon could pop some inventive ideas, and if you can root them in common sense and practicality, then you might find that those take root this afternoon, that they get on more solid ground this afternoon. I hope you're journaling. It's a great time to journal your awarenesses regarding this cycle and how you're going to walk your vision of the world, the new earth, the life personally and planetarily that you want to live. How are you walking that every day? One of the things that I have found as Venus and Mars are conjunct each other is people who have a lot of Mars energy sometimes have been very direct and unkind. And I have a lot of Venusian energy, and that's receptive energy. So that's been challenging at times. So if you find that people have had knee-jerk reactions, then that seems to continue. Remember your own dedication to being kind to yourself and to others. The sun's now in Pisces. And so this reminds us to be gentle in all areas of our lives and with one another, as well as with ourselves. So tomorrow begins quietly because the moon is void of course all day. So perfect for the first day of a new month. And at 6:54 p.m., the moon will move into Pisces as it prepares for the new moon that's coming on Wednesday. So void of course moon, what is a void of course moon? And I hope that you're taking some notes so you can navigate your week as it moves on and have some tips for yourself so that you can remain balanced, equanimous. I love that word. So you can remain using the Venus and Mars new balance that's being established in a positive, proactive way for yourself. Because you may have a lot of clues come up also that show you where more balance is necessary, more clearing, so that you can clear the field for new and more awakening. So March is this week is a 9-week. Mars itself is a 3-6-9 month for 31 days. So this vibration puts us on course with a pursuit of realism. And its vibration opens our minds and expands our awareness. That's what it seeks to do. The alternative is narrow-mindedness. So if you encounter that within yourself or within others this month, and Pisces rules mirrors. So remember that when you're dealing with other people, be willing to see if something that rankles you is something in yourself that is calling for clearing or balance, new balance, rectification. We're literally waking up to reality. That's literally what's happening for us. And humanity's will is moving vigorously to free itself. And that was really kicked off with that 222 last week. And if you didn't see my post about that, because I didn't talk about the divine feminine's impact with the 222-2022, I did post on Facebook regarding that. You could also message me if you want, if you need me to copy and paste that for you, because this is, my take on it. It really is opening the door to the divine feminine of the next 1,000 years. So that energy that needs to come into balance so tremendously is really, really, working to break free right now. And so this is another thing that you might be feeling inside yourself, because this is new. When I ask people, what does it mean to walk the divine feminine, to live within the divine feminine, to really be able to balance that going and getting it with the receiving it, creating a magnetic field that receives what it needs. This is challenging. It's challenging to walk in a world that does not support or reward that particular kind of belief system. So it's a good question to ask yourself. So this is potentially the most creative sequence that you can have. It's the most creative sequence of all, this 3-6-9. So it's not just in the creative arts, but it's in the creative art of living, because your life is art. And so it's it can be used destructively rather than creatively, and we're seeing this in the world. And so we know that there's a lot to learn. We still have a lot to learn, especially as we come into how do we live our individuality and animate our individual contribution while becoming more and more aware that there's only one of us here, that there's this giant field of human beingness that connects us all. So Wednesday is the new moon. And the new moon is at 12 degrees, will occur at 12 degrees of Pisces at 9:35 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And please say hello if you are watching. Say hello, let me know where you're hailing from. And if you're watching the replay, Check in also. If you have questions as you watch the replay, let me know those. If you have questions today and you're watching, let me know those as well. Wherever 12 degrees of Pisces. Good morning, Nicole. Thank you for checking in. So if you have planets or you know your chart, 12 degrees of Pisces is lighting up a brand new beginning. And this is an optimistic, hopeful new moon. Oh, hello, Janine Phoenix. Yes, not too far away. I'm in Southern California here. Good morning. So with the new moon, it's got quite a setup because we continue to have a locomotive of planets going from Capricorn through Aquarius to Pisces. And so we have had 6 new moons, I believe it is, at 12 degrees, just as we've been having full moons at 27 degrees. So it's undeniable that there's a message there. What's the message? Well, the message for 12 degrees is that something is being released, something's ending as something is being born. The 12 adds up to a 3, and that's the number of birth. And the 12 is the last, there are 12 houses in the Western chart, 12 signs of the zodiac. So we come to the end and at the end, we merge with the divine. It's where we drop all of our earthly concerns and illusions and merge with the divine. And this is really what the Pisces cycle brings up. So the new moon in Pisces is interesting because if you know the glyph, the symbol of Pisces, it's like a crescent moon, 2 crescent moons like this with a bar in between. We're asked to walk on that balance beam, so to speak, between heaven and earth. And oftentimes Pisces can be the sign of divine discontent, but it is the most emotionally sensitive sign of the zodiac. And it has to do with our dreams, our imagination. The downside can be victimhood and suffering. And we have seen our investment in that. The news continually invites us to suffer with everybody or to find a point of suffering. But suffering is considered to be a prolongation of pain by the ego. And so you had 18 months with the nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius telling you, program yourself with positive inspiration. Raise the frequency, because when you raise your frequency, you affect thousands of people that you don't even know. So this is where it's so important. And this cycle, finishing this cycle, you were asked to be aware of what the drop you want. What is the drop that you are in the ocean of humanity? What is that? What does that drop contain? Is it clear? Is it like pure, clear, flowing water, open to a new consciousness? Or is it muddied? And one of the biggest ways to have it get muddied is to be involved in what's going on a million miles away. Be present in the present as the presence. It seems irresponsible sometimes. It's like, but no, I'm feeling this. We are feeling it. Aquarius, finishing this cycle, is the sign of the collective. And Wednesday, we move into the sign truly of the transcendent, Pisces. So choose to root out victimhood in your own life, a dedication to suffering in your own life. There are times when we grieve, when we do go into a bit of suffering, but to prolong it, this is the thing that we want to look at, the tendency to do in our lives. The setup is beautiful. The sun and moon are united with Jupiter. The great benefic is what Jupiter is called. It's the biggest planet out there, and it tells us that we're going to grow and expand in whatever area this new moon occurs, and whatever area Pisces is in your chart. And it's wonderful to really be willing to do the work and take the action on this cycle, on these intentions, because in May, the energy of Jupiter is going to move into Aries, and we'll be looking at what we're going to pioneer. And we also may see a lot of expanded warlike energy. So it asks, Jupiter says, what are, and when it moves into Aries, it says, what are you willing to fight for? Or what are you willing? Are you a warrior for peace? which means that you embody peace. Not an easy one, right? You release complaining, you release compliance, and you move into your own dream. Pisces is the dream. So we had the plan with Capricorn, we had the vision with Aquarius for humanity and for the earth and for ourselves. And in Pisces, it's the dream. And it reminds us that the biggest dream is that we are that we are humans, that we are disconnected humans. And its message is we are spirit in human form. We are spirit having a human experience. So at the time of this new moon, with these lineups, it's not just lineups with Pisces and in Pisces and then Aquarius and Capricorn, but there are conjunctions. In other words, these lineups are very close together, and this intensifies them. So you may find that your body's been trying to hold a lot of intensity, your nervous system, your thought patterns. Remember the heart drop. Remember to breathe. You have a right to be in the present moment. It's your job for Source to be in the present moment. Only you have your particular point of view as you look out. The beauty of nature, that's very grounding. It will ground you instantly, as well as the heart drop and mindful breathing. Pisces is a water sign, and it said that we are meant to be 86% water, that we're operating at about 70% due to the dehydration of toxicity, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically on all levels. So getting to water, drinking water, stepping into life as a flow. I remember years ago I was shown an image. I was shown an opportunity, an option. One was to be floating down the river of life, hanging on to boulders, to old hurts, to old concepts, to old potentials and possibilities. And the other was to just release and lie on my back and float down that beautiful river of awareness and allow my higher guidance to have the map and just allow me to float, staying present, enjoying the ride. And that's actually what we have the potential to do. So celebration is up for this new moon. Joy, which is the clearest evidence of the presence of spirit. So you want to cultivate that as you craft your dream. And because it's at 12 degrees, you're letting go of an old dream. You know, the old dream of the world and what we thought, the way we thought things operated, possibly, is gone. Now, many of us have known for many, many years what was operating. And so it's like the proverbial, you know what is hitting the fan. And the fan is moving slowly because Pluto is one of the big agents of it. And we have Saturn in Aquarius, which shows us the limitations of humanity. And what does humanity want to build? As we move through March, we're going to have the opportunity to move out of the idea of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And how can we reform what's going on? How can we do that with kindness, compassion, with our values intact? So this is really one of the holiest times of year, as we happen to have Jupiter and Neptune both in Pisces. The new moon is going to be united with Jupiter, and this is an ignition point for growth, for expansion, particularly spiritual expansion, particularly the expansion of remaining in touch and cultivating that which inspires you, that which uplifts. It's one of the biggest antidotes to divine discontent. So as you are uplifted and you're reminded of this is the time when we move into Lent in Catholicism. And it's also when we celebrate, we begin to get ready to celebrate the resurrection. So this is the thing. I mean, which do you focus on? Crucifixion, which is sometimes the way it feels in this world right now, or resurrection, which is imminent. It's guaranteed. And that's what the lunar cycle tells you. It always goes through birth, and then the decay, the deconstruction, and the death, and it promises rebirth. Every 28 days we go through this. Takes a lot of courage to be human, doesn't it? To repeat that cycle continually. And so as we move through this cycle, we're reminded, whole eye, holy. This is what we want, have an opportunity to move toward during this cycle. Whole eye-ness. And I call the whole eye trinity the sun, the moon, and the earth. Because if you are moving in tune with those rhythms, you'll find that you have a deeper understanding that and more health and true wealth in your life, because you are in tune with the true rhythms of life. It makes it easier to celebrate, makes it easier to welcome joy. So as I mentioned, it's an optimistic new moon. Regarding health, Pisces rules the lymphatic system, our inner ocean, which is an absolute huge key to healthy immunity and a strong immune system. It also rules the pineal gland. So we have Jupiter, as I mentioned, both Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. Why is this so relevant? Well, Jupiter was the ruler of, and still is, the ruler of Pisces prior to the discovery of Neptune in the 1800s. So we have both planets in the sign of their rulership. And Neptune takes about 160 plus years to move around the zodiac one time. So we're alive at this time of tremendous change with Neptune moving through its home sign. So it's telling us, it's saying, dream a new dream. Release the downside of the Piscean energy. Release the disillusionment, the betrayal. Those are some of the things that Neptune can engender. It's also known as the Great Dissolver. So the opportunity to dissolve old concepts that do not work, to elevate us, is the potential here. It also rules magic. So when you look at Jupiter saying, let's grow something in this area of your life and of your chart. And of course, if you don't know about that, you can use shareware online. I've described the symbol to you and find that for yourself. You'll look for 12 degrees, or it's a great time to get a reading. So you're prepared for the birth that's imminent with the equinox and can use the energies of this year really well, because Jupiter, Neptune, Mercury, and the sun are all going to be in Pisces this month. And that's a wonderful, wonderful lineup to move your dream forward. Also, watch your dreams. Be aware of your dreams. You know, there's a tip. Some people say, hi, Daniela, hello, thank you. You know, some people say that they can't remember their dreams. So if you're finding that you're having to take sleep aids, that can circumvent your ability to have dreams. But the other thing, and if you go to bed earlier so that you get more sleep, we need at least 7.5 hours now, then have a glass of water by your bed. And you just need to drink a couple of sips. You don't need to drink so much that you stay up all night, but drink a couple of sips of water and instruct yourself. When I wake in the morning, I'll drink the rest and remember my dreams. And when you wake in the morning, have a journal right there with your pen and drink the water and begin to write. And as you write, Pisces, remember, this is a non-linear cycle. We are moving into the flow of the feminine. Time is becoming fluid as opposed to being this rigid linear construct that we have all been taught to espouse. And the lunar rhythms help you move into the flow of time. You know, rising with the sun, starting to wind down as the sun sets, working with the phases, the 8 phases of transformation, working with the timing. We are lunar beings because we are so much water. We are oceans ourselves. So I want to remind you that Pisces also rules the feet. And so reflexology is a great thing to do this month, getting a pedicure. But also, as you walk on the earth, feeling your feet caress the earth, feeling that beautiful heart energy move through your feet into the earth as the earth moves the energy back up to support you. And of course, this is something to be very grateful for. If the earth is still under your feet, I live in California, so I salute the earth every day and thank her for her stillness and for coming into balance in new ways, because the earth is at over 7 hertz and we are at between 2 and 3. So we have a lot of boogieing to do to catch up with the orb that we're on, so that our consciousness can be compatible with the earth itself. And so it's a time to dance. Dance with life. Feel your feet as you dance. I know it's a challenging time to go out and dance, but dance in your home, put music on. We talked about the Solfeggio frequencies in one of the shows this past month. And those are wonderful to put on, especially the 528 frequency of love or above, and just allow yourself to move and to flow and to feel it. Dance as if nobody's watching, right? Yeah. And remember, the dance is all there is. We're involved in a dance. We're involved in a dance of spirit in human form. So allow yourself to dance and move this month, because that's what gets the lymphatic system moving and staying healthy. And also, if you're moving in a flowing way as opposed to a somewhere to get to, putting your feet down, stomping on the earth, etc., it's like power walking. I mean, that can be great, but if you're in nature and you don't stop and just allow your foot to be aware of the magnetic gravity of the earth and really appreciate your surroundings and allow yourself to move into the flow of being in the present, you'll miss it. You'll miss the opportunity to ground that lymphatic system, to ground your immune system in flow. It's a big word for this month, flow. How do you flow in your life? So we have the excitement of anticipation and the expectation of divinity, preparing to embody the divine as a practice. How do you practice that in your daily life? When it comes to relationships, Pisces can be the sign of the rose-colored glasses. So be aware of that. Be aware of taking the time to get to know someone. Aquarius reminded us that we want friendship in our relationships, that friendship is the highest value. So that implies taking some time to get to know the person. Neptune rules fog. So sometimes those rose-colored glasses plus the fog of a new love. Neptune is the higher love. Venus is one octave of love, and Neptune is the octave of higher love. So be sure that there's a true connection there. Take the time. Enjoy getting to know the person. There's nowhere to get to. The present moment is the only moment of power. I'm going to say that again. The present moment is the only moment of power. It's the only true reality. So enjoy every one of your relationships. And notice if someone's value structure is so divergent from yours as you rise, if someone is completely mired in the illusion of 3D and the illusion of the programming of the media, that might not be someone you want to hang around with. Because Pisces also is very empathetic. It's emotionally sensitive. It feels what other people feel. So if you have a lot of Pisces energy or Neptunian energy, you know what I'm talking about. So you want to allow yourself to have healthy boundaries regarding your relationships during this time. And you'll see there's some stuff coming up majorly with relationships this week and ongoing. And I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. So business-wise, it's time to move those goals and dreams forward. And remember, you can bring about good. Seems like there's a big polarity of good and evil going on the planet. So remember, you can bring about good. Life is not happening to you. It's happening through you and for you. So remember that. One of the mantras I love, which I love, is everything is working for me all the time. So when something comes into my life that pricks my ego or upsets me or throws me off kilter a little bit, I remember, wait a minute, everything is working for me all the time. So I don't have the vision that Source has for me moving through me. So let me surrender to that. Because perhaps, for instance, let's say the battery in your car goes down. You've got to call AAA and get it charged. And down the road, there was a big accident that you would have been involved in had you gotten in the car at an earlier time. Yeah. Have any of you had that happen? I've had that happen, and I've just been so grateful. And remember that everything is working for me all the time. And remember that you have the ability to work magic in your life. With the South Node in Scorpio, it's reminding us that's what we're letting go of. That's what we're moving away from, the past. It's reminding us that we are eliminating the old hurts, the old emotional patterns, the things that don't work for us, the places where our energy is invested unwisely, so that we can move forward into a new dream. We can reclaim that energy because we know that we can make a difference. Just by being who we are, just by being in the integrity of a high frequency, we can be who we are and have a massive effect on the world that we don't even know about. So when it comes to business, as I mentioned, it's a good time to move forward on the goals regarding your dream, your vision, your plan. But also, as Venus and Mars conjunct Pluto, it brings our awareness of a new balance regarding our finances. What do we want to establish? And so this also plays into our business. What's our business plan? Have we put it on solid ground? Are we flowing with it every day? Is it something that brings us joy so that we can radiate joy through our business to the world? So again, remember, it's a very positive, optimistic, hopeful new moon. Now, hope is an interesting concept because hope can be very non-physical. So hope becomes reality when you put your action under it. And with the higher octave of love there, it tells you to let spirit flow through you, to welcome your higher self while you're calling the directions in the morning. Remember, you're going to need to be grounded. Pisces is not grounded energy. It has great imagination. And so you want to imagineer the life that you desire during this cycle, the life that you need and want. And when it comes to beauty, the beauty aspect of Pisces rules glamour because Neptune, its ruler, rules illusion, and glamour is illusion. But the other side of glamour is fun. You know, what can you do to upgrade your appearance, to get ready, be ready for spring? Has your skin gotten dry? Do you need to be drinking more water? Do you need to have a better skincare regimen? Do you need to get a facial? Do you want to have some, I have some friends who have these little false eyelashes applied so that they don't ever have to put mascara on. Whatever is glamour to you, enjoy being in this physical body. And, a great thing to do for your skin is while your skin is still damp from the shower, don't dry off completely. Add a little bit of either argan oil. I love argan oil. Or what is it called? Maracula oil, rose hips oil, a fine oil, or jojoba oil, which is the closest to natural sebum, to your body lotion, and apply that to damp skin. It goes a long way in helping to hold the moisture in. So those are some tips about that. And remember, with the new moon, you want to write your dream. Be willing to look at the endings that are occurring, the old dream that you may still be investing with your energy, and then do a brain dump until you get down to an intention in each of the areas I've mentioned: health, relationship, business, beauty, and rejuvenation. You can exchange one of those for family, but it's really, really good not to have too many intentions. And the reason is because you will realize what you feelize, right? Feelization is the key to all of it. It's the key to manifesting the life that you desire and to living it while what you're dreaming of is coming to you. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you narrow your brain dump, you narrow your intention to a simple, concise sentence. So you're going to put 3 action steps under each intention. So it's not about it's not the kitchen sink. It's one simple sentence. I happily and thankfully create. I happily and thankfully begins every intention. And so as you do that, you get a simple intention. So I happily and thankfully dance every day. Might be something like that. I happily and thankfully, an action might be reflexology or something like that. But I happily and thankfully dance with life literally and figuratively every day. That could be an intention. And so then you close your eyes, put your feet on the floor, your palms up in your lap, and you sit and get the breath to come and go. You can drop into your heart and see that intention. Visualize. What does it look like for that intention to manifest right now? To be living the dream, so to speak. And you get a really good picture of that. You might even think of what it smells like. I have rose incense, the highest frequency of scent going right now. So you might have a smell, a taste, a touch. You might, have something like that going on. As fully as you can, visualize it, the colors. Where are you? What does it look like? And then take a breath and feel that intention, that visualization drop into your heart. And feel the energy move all through your body as you step into that picture. You step into that picture and you feel it. What does it feel like to be there now? Is it joyful? It might be relief. It might be just such an elevation and expansion. But feel all the feelings that are aligned with that. Should you find that there's something that needs to be released as you're doing this, breathe from your belly and make a sound. Exhale that right out of your feelization atmosphere and move back into the feelization. And then when you're really feeling it, it's like you've got an inner smile, if not an external smile. It ramps, the energy ramps up and it moves through your skin so that that feeling fills your auric field, the field that surrounds you. And then as you've sat with that, and at the new moon, it's really good to sit with it for a few minutes. You open your eyes and you can jot 3 action steps or any revelations that came to you, because reflection, revelations, culmination, manifestation, those are going to be your full moon, what you want to have happen at the full moon. So new beginnings, setting intentions, planting seeds is what this time is all about. New beginnings, planting seeds. And so as you do that, you're doing it in the depth of your consciousness, and you have just created, with your feelings, you have created the frequency of that intention manifested right now. What could possibly go wrong? What I call dream stealers, a perfect word for the Piscean cycle. So if you find that these thoughts, these old patterns, these old habits come to keep you off track, to steal your dreams, just put yourself back, just close your eyes and put yourself back into the feeling of that. The feeling is the real secret. The secret didn't talk much about that, but feelization is the secret to manifestation, walking that now. And you will get to see, where do you suffer? Where do you feel everybody else but not me? Or this time is so awful, I just don't know how this is going to, No, just move back into the feeling, be in that feeling in the present moment. Feel your feet, ground yourself. That's a good thing for you to remember all cycle long. Feel your feet. Feel the flow in your body. Move. You might even just sway a little. And do the feelization. If, you'll fast track your manifestation if you do your feelization every morning. I journal every morning. So if you can just move, once you get good at this, once you do it at the new moon, you can just drop in and do it for a minute. Say your intention out loud. I happily and thankfully create da 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 da, and then just feel it. If you feel something intensely for 17 seconds, it's on its way into manifestation. Did you know that? Yeah. So The thing that the fertile soil in which all intentions are planted is gratitude. So once you've completed your process, write down all the things you're grateful for. And you can do that prior if you wish, or at any point. So that's how you set a powerful new moon intention. And remember, you've got optimism, growth and expansion, spirituality, imagination, magic. You've got all of these things like the wind beneath your wings at the time of this new moon. It's a really good one. So then we move to Thursday, and you might feel like, you might get some intimation of the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me see where. Things can be inspired and better. And you might feel more like there's something that you can do about it. The sun conjuncts Jupiter on Thursday. So, and Jupiter shifts from an evening star to a morning star on Thursday. So when it's in its morning star phase is when it's most powerful. And Jupiter's super powerful anyway, and super powerful this year, all year long. But particularly this month, as it's in a sign that has its rulership. So this is when it's its strongest. And it reminds you that an internal sense of faith and belief is necessary for your, for your intentions to move that dream into reality. Now, on Thursday also, early in the morning, Venus and Mars conjunct Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn. This has been coming, and this is intense. We had Venus conjunct Pluto on the 11th of December, so you can travel back to that time. And then we had on the 19th, Venus moved in retrograde motion, and it asked us to look at issues of trust, to look at our relationships, to look at what we want and need in our relationships, also to look at finances. And so we've been looking at this, and it's been taking us into a deep dive regarding this. It's like relationships, issues, and finances haven't been like simple, lighthearted things because we've had this dance with Pluto going on. So Mars and Venus have been traveling together. They're going to continue to travel together. They are calling for a new balance. Are you more oriented toward Mars? Are you more oriented toward Venus? Are you balanced between giving and receiving? Are you balanced between taking action and being the magnetic field for what you want? The intensity, use this intensity to focus on a personal level or to take a deep dive into what you really want and need. This strengthens your determination regarding your intentions and goals. So that's beautiful. That's a beautiful side of it. And also, you might find that you have reactions to the ability to detach from relationships and situations and financial decisions that no longer serve you. And also emotions that no longer serve you. So you also might find that as the day goes on Thursday, that there are explosive, anger situations that erupt. And this will, again, affect particularly relationships and your financial perceptions. So thing to remember with this conjunction to Pluto is you might be a situation where it's like, I choose myself. I have to choose myself over you or this situation or relationship. And with Mars there, it can be knee-jerk. Again, if you can, be kind. Or just make a decision. Just make a decision to detach from the things that are toxic for you. Pluto rules toxicity. It rules pandemics. So detach from the things that are toxic for you, that are not going to help you transform your own life. And this may not be easy, or you may find that you recommit to certain relationships that have lain fallow, or that you had some misperceptions around as this new balance is occurring on a much deeper, more intense level. Let's see what else I got on this for you, because this is big stuff. This conjunction. is big stuff. So, you're asking yourself, what's the cost? What's the cost of this relationship? What's the cost of not getting my finances in order? Or being willing to transform the way that I work in the world according to my plan, my vision, my dream, so that I can transform the way I attract what I need financially and in other ways. So remember, with Venus conjuncting Pluto, Venus looks at the long game. So whereas Mars can be more knee-jerk, Venus says combine this with the long game. Wherever Mars goes, energy flows. And Mars has been exalted in Capricorn. So that's the good news, because you can energize. There's the high side and the low side of Capricorn. The high side of Capricorn is self-mastery and the wise utilization of resources and having a plan, being strategic, being willing to take it step by step, every step solid as you move up the mountain toward your plan for 2022, your vision, your dream. The downside is the control freak that seeks to control its environment or other people. So these are the things that can be in operation. So Pluto says dive deep. It's had you diving deep. It's been very intense around these issues. And says, now, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to detach from so that this new balance, this new way of being can be established? It may not be, it's not so good for shared resources. So and the 6th year, which we're in, tells you that it's about you being self-sustaining. Having, you can partner for ideas, for support, but that's, but as far as, you might find that right now the focus is on your own resources because Venus and Mars are very personal. So just know that that's happening because on Friday, the moon is going to be finishing that journey through Capricorn, the last couple of degrees. And at 4:54 p.m. on Thursday, the day before, the moon moves into Aries. So by Friday, changes are underway. Even though we don't know exactly what they are, how they're going to unfold. And because we're dealing with Pluto, Pluto's collective energy. Pluto is about the collective shadow, and it's bringing up all kinds of stuff, as you can see. I mean, the situation with Russia and the Ukraine is a big example of how it's bringing up, it's bringing up war. The old ways of using power. That's what Pluto's pointing out to us. What are the old systems of power? How can we empower ourselves as individuals? 2024, Pluto's going to move into Aquarius, and that's what it's going to be asking us, to take what we've learned and really, really look at how we're going to reform and transform society so it works for humanity as a whole. So you might find on Friday as things come up and old insecurities may emerge, that that you go on a healing journey, that you decide how you can apply that to a healing journey. And then Saturday, the sun conjuncts Jupiter. So that can either be really high inspiration, or it can make you want to escape the madness, no matter how. So it can be one or the other. But again, of course, Jupiter actually, it grows our lives, it grows things here on Earth for us, but it's really about spiritual growth. So again, it reminds you, get in touch with what inspires you, how you're going to energize that dream. And revolutionary ideas could, they could powerfully affect your plans for the future on Saturday. So, listen on the inner. After all, Pisces is highly intuitive energy. This new moon really sparks your intuition if you dedicate yourself to listening on the inner and listening on the outer. And remember, listening on the outer has to do with breathing. Because most of the time, if you watch someone who's overrunning your sentences, it's just because they're just thinking of what they want to say before you even finish. That's not true conversation. So if you take in what someone else is saying, and then you'll know how to respond. if a response is even necessary. So Saturday night, you may find that depressed, anger that's underneath could erupt, and there will be a major shift because Mars and Venus move into Aquarius at 10:52 p.m. Actually, Mars at 10:22 p.m. if you want to be exact on Saturday night, and then at 10:52, Venus follows. So again, they're like this, really close, and this ushers in a different time than what we've been experiencing since December, right? And since it's been moving through Capricorn. So Saturday night could be unsettling if you're awake, but if you're going to bed a little earlier, it'll be at 11:12 p.m. when they conjoin, so you'll be asleep and it'll be okay, although you may have some interesting dreams. And then right at midnight, the moon moves into Taurus. And then immediately we've got a square. Mars squaring Uranus. So, Sunday, watch for old thought forms on Sunday that come up. That's all. Old thought forms that prevent the embrace of powerful solutions. Because that's a great thing to affirm. Win-win. Powerful solutions. And, the moon unites with Uranus on Sunday night, which is surprises, things that come out of the blue, so to speak. A reminder to think out of the old box. And, remember mindful breathing, kindness, compassion, be gentle with yourself. Do the heart drop. Heart drop, heart drop. It's so simple. Once you get it, you can just breathe in that earth energy, blend it with the light, bring it down into your heart on the exhale. And then the Taurus moon reminds you to come to your senses. Literally, it rules the 5 senses. So, give yourself a massage, get a massage your feet. It's great during the Pisces cycle to be reminded to really massage your feet in the evening or in the morning, while you're sitting there, and you're watching something or listening to something, just massage your feet. Every meridian in the body, every energy highway in the body, every part of the body has an ending in the feet. So the opposite of Pisces is Virgo. Virgo rules the nervous system. So with those endings in your feet, if you just really put some lovely lotion on your feet and just take your time and work gently but firmly into your feet and your toes, you can really have a really good effect on your nervous system, as well as keeping that lymph flowing, keeping that energy flowing. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I'd love to know your experience with this new moon in this week. It could be a bumpy ride as you work to detach from old concepts and patterns and people and ways of handling things. Remember, with the moon cycles, it reminds you with the theme every cycle that you're a whittler. So you're whittling around your habits. And over the weekend, the moon will move into the crescent phase. And the crescent phase is where we struggle to move away from the inertia of the past as the habits and patterns of the past come up. So midway through Saturday, we will be moving into the crescent phase. And that's the phase where we gather the resources we need. That will be right. Yes, I know. Hello, Leslie, and whoever spoke previously. That was really great too. Yes, the detachment is really important. The eagle's view. That's what Pluto reminds you to soar like the eagle. Keep that, move into your observer as much as possible, and work from live from a loving heart. So as we move into the crescent phase, you'll be getting what you need. You'll be getting together what you need to move forward on your dream. And it's so exciting. You're growing a new dream of life, and it's uncharted territory. The path is appearing as you move forward. We like to have our path all mapped out. Well, those times are gone because we're creating, we're coming into true creatorship. So as we move forward, remember, you may not know where the ground is at times. Feel your feet. And you may not even be able to see your feet at times, metaphorically speaking, because you're so pregnant with possibility. I heard that the other day and I just love it. So, but just know that your feet are your connection. There's no accident that it's called the soles of your feet. I wish you a most happy new moon. I would love to hear how you're doing with all of this. You can always message me at Moon Powered Astrology on Facebook. You can make an appointment for a session with me, and we'll find out, how you can move your dream forward into reality in 2022. And of course, now, as always, I love you to the moon and way beyond.